Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm glad you've stopped by. Because today we are reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I was so excited to see this show up at Ulta. There have been little sneak peeks of this foundation popping up on Trend Mood and from Norvina on Twitter, who is the owner of Anastasia Beverly Hills. But there was never enough information to know exactly what the formulation was gonna be and how it was gonna look. And now finally we get to find out today. So if you want to see how the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation looks on my face, feels, and wears throughout the day, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Now, first things first, I got my foundation from Ulta and it was $38. I got the shade 220N, which is for light skin with a neutral peach undertone. Not quite sure if it's my shade at all, but it looked like it was whenever I was shade matching in the store. On Ulta's website, there are 50 shades available, which in my opinion is a pretty decent shade range. And a little bit of information about the foundation according to Ulta's website. Luminous Foundation by Anastasia Beverly Hills is a water-resistant liquid foundation that creates a luminous natural finish. The radiant formula delivers long-wearing, medium coverage, yet still feels so lightweight and looks ultra-fresh. This is the coverage you have been waiting for. Luminous Foundation looks so great on its own, there's no need to set with a powder. Available in many completely natural shades. Luminous Foundation blurs any imperfections, discoloration, and unevenness without caking or masking the skin's natural radiance. With a seamless application, this easy-to-blend formula leaves the skin with a perfected-looking complexion that is free of flashback and oxidation. So some specific callouts I see is water-resistant, medium coverage, radiant look. So I'm assuming like maybe dewy or natural finish, velvety finish even. It says there's no flashback, doesn't oxidize, and no need to set. I'm going to be setting the foundation because I can't not set it. And it shows it's available in 5 shade categories: fair, light, medium, tan, and deep, and it has 3 undertones: cool, warm, and neutral. It shows product pairings, Anastasia loose setting powder, which I did not get that this time, but who knows, maybe in the future. Now the website also doesn't specify any specific tool to use, so as per usual, I will be using a beauty blender on one side and a brush on the other, just so we can see exactly how this foundation works with both tools. I'll be honest, I usually end up favoring the beauty blender side if you haven't been here before and don't know, just because I feel like there's nothing else that can top that finish and that texture. I'm gonna go ahead and start by spraying the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 priming spray, and also using the Elf Cosmetics Poreless Putty Primer. So who else is picking up this foundation? Who else is gonna try it? Let me know down below. I'm curious as to if you guys like luminous foundations, or if you like to stick with matte, or if it matters to you. How does your skin type work with luminous foundations? Do you like the glow? Now before I open this up, let's take a look at this packaging. Excuse my fingerprints on it for now, but I love the color of this packaging. It's just silver, but it's super reflective and it almost looks like steel. The only thing that slightly confuses me about this packaging is the giant foundation lettering on the side. I understand what Norvina said, that she wanted this to be a specific call out in a makeup kit so that you could easily see that it was your foundation without having to dig around and figure out which one it was. But in my opinion, this and this just don't really go together. This side is more like, hello, it's nice to meet you. And this side is more like, hey, what's up? You know, they're just very different to me. They feel like 2 different brands. Either way, I get the concept, I just don't know if it is aesthetically cohesive. But that's fine, I'm not mad about it. It doesn't affect the way it's going to perform, I don't think. So now instead of the unit carton, let's see what the actual component looks like. I mean, it looks like a foundation bottle. It reminds me of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation bottles. Yep, the Maybelline looks like a travel size. It also looks like the Wet n Wild foundation, or the CoverGirl foundation, or the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. So who knows, maybe it will come in handy for it saying foundation on the side of the foundation bottle as well. It doesn't really help me because my foundations are all in a drawer, so all I see is this much of the foundation. This is all I have to go off of. Okay, so I'm not sure how much to use, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start with a couple of pumps. I do like that the pump top is matte. I don't know why. It's kind of ironic to have a matte pump on a luminous foundation. Irrelevant, but different. Please be my shade. Please be my shade. I think we might be okay on the shade, maybe. This looks alright. Yeah, we'll be okay. I always struggle on the foundation shades because I think I'm actually a warm undertone, and I always just confuse my warm undertone and my redness. So I never know if I'm just red for the day or if I actually have a warm undertone. So my redness for that day always affects my shade matching because my Born This Way foundation has a warm tone, but all of my other foundations are neutral. However, both of them still work. I just think neutral shades are maybe more correcting for me, and warm tone shades are actually a match for me. I think that's how this kind of goes for me. Ooh, hello second skin. Wow. Coverage wise, that's definitely light, like almost nothing, but finish wise, that's beautiful. That's like literally my skin. So 2 more pumps it is. Now I seem to have the worst trouble on my nose with getting coverage and getting foundation to stick there and stay there. So I always try to build it up there first and then blend it outwards from the middle, which luckily is usually what most foundations say to do anyway, is to start in the middle of your face and blend outward. Okay, brush side is complete, and I'm pretty happy so far. This is super skin-like. It is very light coverage. This is nowhere near a Juvia's Place foundation or a MAC Studio Fix or a Huda Beauty, but it is still so beautiful. And that was just with the brush side, so now let's see what it looks like with the sponge. And since I used 4 pumps on the brush side, I'm gonna go ahead and just use 4 pumps on the sponge side since I know it's already gonna soak up a lot of product. I actually think 4 pumps with a sponge was enough because it looks like I'm covered everywhere. I see no more redness coming through. It was a lot faster to blend out with a sponge, definitely, which makes sense because I covered more surface area faster. But based on what I'm seeing so far, if you want the foundation that's almost unclockable by anybody and you want everybody to double take and wonder if you're actually wearing foundation, I feel like this is gonna be that foundation because thus far, my complexion looks flawless, but my skin is still skin, meaning it still looks very, very skin-like. It's not adding any kind of cakiness or anything. It still gives that shine like normal skin has, but without being excessively wet looking like a lot of luminous foundations do. As far as sponge application or brush application goes, I think I prefer the sponge application still, mainly because at this point I'm noticing that the sponge side actually kind of blurred my pores a little more, and it looks like the brush side did not. And I honestly don't know why that would be the case because it should have filled them both evenly, I would have assumed. Maybe the brush pulled more product back out of my pores and the sponge didn't. But I feel like if I were to ask someone if they saw a difference in sides, I don't think it would be noticeable. I just think I notice because I'm paying attention to it. I may or may not just be biased with my sponge, but I am gonna go ahead and go over it with my sponge everywhere just in case. However, since I am a boy with a beard, I do like to take a brush and go just over my facial hair to make sure that I get foundation coverage underneath my hair because the sponge can't always do that since it presses down. And I think for the foundation application, that's it. Based on the way my complexion looks, I don't think I need any more product. I am happy with the finish and the results that I have currently. However, I do need to set this. I am not one of those people that can go without setting their foundation. I'm just not. But I do need to go in with my concealer first, and I'm curious to see how my concealer mixes with the foundation. So far, concealer is blending in with the foundation beautifully. I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Concealer in the shade Ivory, and I'm not getting any type of separation between the foundation and the concealer. They seem to be working together perfectly, harmoniously. Okay, concealer is completely blended out, so now it's time to set everything. And for that, I will also be using the Kylie setting powder. Also, if you'd like to see a review of the Kylie Cosmetics skin concealer and setting powder, I will link that right up here, so you can check that out if you want to. Now I went ahead and brushed on some powder bake, as you can obviously see. And now I'm using my Morphe M106 big fluffy powder brush. And I'm just gonna lightly set the rest of my face. Just to make sure, doubly so, that this is set and that it's gonna last me all day, because we're gonna be doing a wear test and I'm gonna be traveling all day after a doctor's appointment. So I need to make sure this is gonna stay on. I need to look flawless all day, not just part of the day. I've got to say, so far, this foundation is one of the most skin-like foundations I've ever used. If you just look, like here in this area, and my neck, and over here, it just looks like my skin. It looks good. Definitely a little drier looking now that I said it, because I don't have that normal shine that I would have, but it still looks really, really nice. Very soft focus and airbrushed looking. This ain't no filter. Well, it looks like the foundation worked well with the powder. It did take away a little bit of that luminosity, the skin-like dewiness and reflect that the foundation did have at first. Now this is going to be kind of a 2-in-1 review, if you will, because I'm also going to be reviewing the Tarte Stay Spray setting spray. So we're going to see if setting this powder with this spray maybe brings back some of that luminosity, because this isn't supposed to be specifically a matte setting powder, so it should keep at least a little bit of the luminosity, possibly, but we'll find out. For now, however, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Geek bronzer in the shade Sunkissed, and I'm gonna use my Morphe E9 to apply. I'm always interested to see how foundations hold up to putting a more dense brush and other products on top of it, because sometimes they strip up. Especially on the nose, like with concealers and even foundations. If you run a brush across them without using light patting motions, sometimes they'll lift and move around, which is not ideal. I think I'm starting to get too tan for this bronzer. It still shows a little bit, but just barely. It is adding that sun-kissed glow though, so no complaints from me. I'm also going to use my Morphe E8 contouring brush, but I'm going to use this to apply just a little bit of bronzer on the bridge of my nose as a nose contour. And this is kind of where I'll start to see if this foundation lifts up while I'm applying it, which would not be ideal, obviously, but we're going to hope for the best here. Yay, I think we're okay for now. I see no lifting so far, or moving. It looks like it's staying still. Yay! Okay. See, a lot of the time while I'm applying things like this, I'll be using my monitor and the camera as like my mirror, and the quality of my monitor isn't the greatest, so I can't see fine details in the monitor. So whenever I go on with a brush on my nose and start blending, I can't see the foundation lifting up or not. So I finished, I think it looks all good in the monitor, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, no, thank you. So I'm learning to be more conscious of looking in the mirror while I'm applying, so that way I can fix something if it becomes a problem first. Now that I'm done with bronzing, I'm gonna contour very lightly using my Tarte Park Ave Princess Chisel palette, and I'm gonna use the shade Princess Cut right here. Oh, this palette smells so good. And now I'm gonna use, well, I guess this is more like a 3-in-1 review now that I think about it, but now I'm gonna use a product that was sent to me by Pekaya Beauty. This is a blush, and I haven't even opened it yet. I have seen what it looks like on Instagram from the person that sent it to me, and I figured why not use it today, since I'm kind of doing a few first impressions when this was solely supposed to be a foundation review. But anyway, I got sent the Pekaya Beauty blush and blush brush, and I love the little carrying pouch. It's so cute. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not blush, this is rouge. It is rouge, as per the card says. Pekaya Beauty. And it says, thank you so much for supporting me in my dream. I hope this rouge brings the same joy in your life as it does for me. Pekaya Beauty. Let's glam up. Love that. Now let's see what this brush looks like. Oh, wow, that is a big blush brush. Oh, that's nice though, that it has the little plastic holder thing with it, so the brush can keep its form. Nice. I don't know that I've ever used a blush brush this big. I think this is in the shade Osaka. Oh no, I do see a little blush on the outside of the box. I'm hoping that nothing exploded. This is what the unit carton looks like for the blush. It says Kai Beauty, black, clean, simple. And it says it's an illuminating glam rouge powder blush with shimmer, soft texture, beautiful color, clear, long-lasting, helps outstanding skin, looks luscious. Apply powder gently over cheeks. For best results, use with a makeup brush in a circular motion. I am not usually a fan of shimmer blushes, but we're gonna try this and see. It did kind of explode a little bit, but that's okay. We're just gonna clean it off. Nothing that a little makeup wipe won't help. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it looks very illuminating. Oh, it even has a little sticker on the top of the sifter. It's crazy that some got out. There is no pull tab on the sifter, so you gotta kinda make your own spot. As long as you have tweezers, not really a problem. Interesting, I've never used a powder blush before. Or a rouge. I keep calling it a powder blush. It's a rouge. I'm gonna tap very lightly. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna tap into the cap for now because there's just some excess powder in the top and see what happens. I wanna be very careful with this because I was going for more of a natural look today, so I don't wanna go nuts with it. Well, that's pretty. That's really soft. And it's not so illuminating that it is bringing out a lot of texture. It is bringing out some texture. That's what anything with highlight does to my skin. But it's still pretty. That's a beautiful tone though. Oh, I might have went a little bit hard on the left side. Yeah, I did just a little bit. Okay, nice. Everything's building up perfectly on top of this foundation. I'm really quite a fan as to how natural this looks. Granted, my cheeks are never this warm, but it still looks very natural. It has that slight luminosity to it. My under eyes, it's not accenting a lot of texture on my face. It looks good. Now, before I move on, I am gonna go ahead and spray my face with setting spray just to kind of melt all the powders into the foundation and see if it brings any luminosity back. I'm gonna be using the Tarte Stay Spray setting spray. And while we're here, I do want to go ahead and give you some details about the Tarte Stay Spray. I've actually considered giving this its own review video. How can you review just a setting spray? You know, like I can't dedicate a whole video to that. So we're gonna include this in this review. I got this from Ulta for $25, and some details from the website say, party like a lock star, Shape Tape Stay Spray, a vegan weightless setting spray that locks down makeup for 16 hours. It sets your makeup and helps to make it waterproof, sweat-proof, and transfer-proof. It shows that it doesn't melt, crack, fade, or settle into fine lines. It has a microfin mist, gives you the appearance of smoother skin, and it has cucumber and aloe extracts to help refresh and soothe. It has cucumber extract for anti-inflammatory benefits, aloe extract to smooth skin, and it is vegan and dermatologist tested, and also cruelty-free, as is just about everything I've seen from Tarte, actually. So let's check this out. It does say shake well. So let's shake well and spray well. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that smells like cucumber. And it is a really fine mist. Now everything is set and the setting spray is dried. So let's see. Oh, I still smell that cucumber. It smells so good. I did get some luminosity back to my skin after setting the powder into the foundation. I'm getting what looks like to be the actual foundation luminosity coming through because it does look luminous, not dewy, not like super reflective and wet looking, but it looks skin-like. It looks good. I'm happy with this so far. I really, really like this. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows, my eyes, and my lips off camera. And once I do that, we're gonna do the wear test and see if this lasts through me traveling all day long. All right. My face makeup is done. I got my bronzer on. My blush is popping. My lips are semi-matte velvet. Anyway, as you can see, I am now done with my face makeup. I have my eyes done, my lashes on, my bronzer, my lips. Yes, all of those things. And so far so good. This foundation is beautiful. I actually left and went to my doctor's appointment, which took me like 4 to 5-ish hours, and that was even before I did the eyeshadow, so it is stuck through with me by my side all this time with no creasing at all so far. I don't think, anyway. Let me double check. No, with no creasing at all so far. So we are going to continue throughout the day. I will be checking in throughout the day as well, letting you know exactly how it's lasting. So far we are at the 6-hour mark, and it is currently 3:40 p.m. So I will keep checking in throughout the day and we'll see how it goes. See you then. Hey guys, we just finished dinner. We are now at the 8.5-hour mark. This is my skin at the moment. Oh my god, that highlighter is so good. But skin at the moment looks really, really nice still. I'm not getting creasy. Maybe I'm creasing a little bit, but not a lot. Not as much as normal, because typically I would have here and all the lines here, but it looks like so far this is just breaking down a little bit. I'm not getting any excessive shine or oil. It looks really nice still. Okay, so we still have about 4 hours to go until we are to our destination. So I'll still be awake at least by then. So I will check in again around that time probably. Okay, we have now hit 14.5 hours wearing this foundation, and it is definitely time for bed. I'm so excited that we are ending the day. But as you can see, we are now at the hotel checking out. And aside from my under eyes, this foundation looks just as good as it did whenever I first put it on. I'm not breaking down with any oils. I'm not peeling apart. It's not falling and sliding around. It actually looks really nice still, except my under eyes. I've got to remember to stop squeezing my lashes together or playing with my lashes, because that makes so much mascara fall off and end up under my under eyes. And I've somehow broken apart the concealer under my eyes with falling asleep in the car on the way down here. But I haven't touched up at all. I haven't blotted or done any powdering at all, and this is what we have. I see a little bit of shine around my nose and on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, but really nothing major. It just looks like skin, really. I like it. So all in all, I would definitely say it's a recommended foundation. If you want full coverage, you're not gonna get that with it. So if you don't like foundations that build up to medium coverage, then you're not gonna want it. But if you do like light to medium coverage and you can pull that off, then you'll really, really like it. I could see it being a problem potentially if you have really oily skin, because it is luminous. So if you want to battle the oil and the luminosity, then you want to get something more mattifying rather than a luminous foundation. But if you have normal to dry, or even possibly combo with some light oil, you still might be able to pull this off if you just set it everywhere. Because even my normal amount of oiliness isn't as much as it normally is right now. So all in all, for me, it's definitely a win. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the little vloggy check-in moment throughout the day. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really lets me know you like the video, and it also lets me know that you want to see more videos like this. If you do like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing from coming to my channel, if you gain nothing from any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. Bye guys.